Marquette Hall of Famer Tony Smith here. You're listening to the home of Marquette basketball. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Showtime.
The right way to start your day. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
So I'm like, all right, the call. All right, I'm like, because I'm, afraid of my wife. And I just tried to spin it, which I sold half of it.
I'm here to tell you that we are closing this Scranton branch.
I don't understand.
The board voted last night to close your branch.
On whose authority?
I sold it with anger.
I want to hear the spin
I'm like,
job.
you kidding me? Wage sucks. You sent me to the wrong place, went downtown, couldn't find it. Oh, and I smashed my windshield.
Are you okay?
Yeah, great. Amazing. Best physical condition of my life.
What did Jan want?
Nothing. Just checking in.
Wait, you tried to bury it? You tried to bury it?
Well, what would you do? Yeah, I can't come right. I'm like, if I came right out with it,
yeah,
I wouldn't have been able to talk anymore. So I had to. She knew I was, quite upset.
I can't tell you.
What can't you tell me?
Nothing. Pam, my difference doesn't make. We'll be gone in a few weeks anyway.
What?
What?
Michael, what's going on?
Listen up, everybody. I have some news. All I can do right now is put on a brave face and go out there and be their leader. It's over.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamorro. Here's Jen Latta.
Running her mouth, she wants to ride it, she's trying to hide it. I'm cool as ever, she's too excited. Her man look like he wanna fight. He ain't doing nothing but running his mouth. Talk about it, we all about it. They making plans, we sit and count. Our chairs stacked just like a mountain. You heard about it, she running her mouth. She wants to ride it, she's trying to hide it. I'm cool as ever.
On the scale of importance in the NFL, where does the combine rank? I mean, it's beneath the draft, but not substantially beneath the draft.
I think it's substantially beneath the draft.
Beneath the Senior Bowl?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, because there's actual football at the Senior Bowl.
So go ahead and power rank some of the...
Okay, well, obviously, the season, number one. After that...
I could make the argument that the playoffs are number one if you want to do a subsect.
Yeah, if you want to break that down, we can do that later. But the season itself, obviously, number one. If we're talking about off-season stuff, number one, I would say reporting to training camp. 2 is the mini camps, OTAs. 3, I will go Senior Bowl. 4, schedule release.
Whoa.
5... Combine.
Gabe just put the schedule release above the combine.
Yeah, the combine.
Are you talking evaluation process or excitement for the fan?
Excitement for the fan.
Oh, I thought you were saying evaluation.
Yeah, but also, Chew, the combine, none of the top guys work out at the combine anymore. They do it all at their pro day in a controlled environment. They don't want to be there. The combine... As the NFL continues to grow it into a big part of their business, and it's one of the hallmarks of the season, coaches aren't even showing up to this thing, Chewy, anymore.
I know, but
you can't tell me that this is important when teams are going, we don't need to go.
But it's not like they're not sending representatives. They're just not sending the coaches. And Adam Schefter talked to us several weeks ago about part of the reason why teams have now not sent coaches. It's sort of a waste of their time. Unless you are directly involved in the evaluation process as a coach, which I don't know how much Matt LaFleur is, right? It seems like that's sort of coaches coach, GMs GM, and players play. That seems to be the mantra, the thought process in Green Bay. So Shefty was telling us that a lot of times these coaches are getting pulled in a million different directions, and they don't even get the opportunity to do what they would want to do, which is evaluate, meet players. You got a lot of agents yakking your ear off and stuff like that, Chew.
But you know what bothered me? What Shefty said about the head coaches, how they don't want to go because they get bothered by other coaches looking for a job. Hey, Matt LaFleur, you know what you were one time? One of those guys.
Yeah.
Excellent point by you.
You were one of those guys. So I think that's very douchey on his part. But back to the combine. I think all the combine is now is for scrubs like myself to move up.
Okay. Walk me through it.
Well, I don't think, like Gabe said, if you're a projected first or second round or even a third, they're going to your pro day because you're not doing everything at the combine, and they're really focusing on that. It's really for your South Dakotas, your lesser programs, guys that are projected to be 6th, 7th free agent to move up maybe to a 4th, 5th.
Okay.
I think that's so the combine now is to build the back end of your roster.
Yeah. I think that's fair.
I think that's what that is now because the top guys aren't doing anything.
True or false, Chewy? You would have gone higher had you not worked out at the combine.
Ooh.
Because famously, you had a bad workout. You've talked about how it wasn't very good. And then you went to Hooters, RIP, pour one out to Hooters, who's declaring for bankruptcy.
Well, what are you supposed to do, Gabe, when you run a 4.8, whatever?
Yeah, no, look, I'm not saying your reaction to running whatever you did was wrong. I'm just saying Hooters is going out of business. I was pouring one out for Hooters.
Well, when you didn't do well? You didn't do well when they come up to you and say, wow, you're a really good long snapper. Like, thank you. So I think that's what it's for. Would I have gone higher if I didn't? I wonder if I would have went higher as a junior. Because there was talk of me coming out early.
Well, what do you mean there was talk of you coming out early? The only thing that matters is if you were talking about going out
Mel
early.
Kiper, and this is so weird, Mel Kiper on his board my junior year had me as the second tight end.
Cool.
And then I went back. I don't know why. Coughlin probably talked me into it. And then I wound up being the 11th tight end drafted.
I think it still worked out for you, though.
Well, that's what I was going to say. You talk about a sliding doors moment, Chew. Let's say you do go a different year. Let's say you do go to a different team, which you likely would have had you gone at your junior year. All of the rest of the stuff doesn't happen. Like, I mean, again, I know Gwyneth Paltrow sliding doors and whatnot, but like that movie was a great glimpse of if one thing is different, everything is different. You're certainly not sitting here with us this morning, don't answer whether or not you would prefer that.
No, but I'm a huge believer in fate. Huge believer. I think fate is. Is there anything in your career where something could have happened where you wouldn't be in the position you're in? Because I can certainly point. Yeah, I can point to it. I mean, I was this close to getting cut in 93 or 94. I was this close until they traded for Reggie Johnson from Denver for like a 3rd-round pick, and then he got hurt, and they're like, "Oh shoot, we can't cut him now."
Damn it,
I was that close. I was that close. Is there something in your guys' career where you're like, "Holy cow, I could be doing something totally different right now"?
Well, not totally different, but if I hadn't gotten sexually harassed on that job interview in San Diego right out of college and landed a gig out in San Diego at 22 years old. Feel like maybe
you would not be sitting here.
That feels like a very different route.
Yeah.
No? Yes? But that guy did say, "Hey, let's go skinny dipping in my pool." And I was like, "No, thank you. I'm not getting out of this vehicle." And if you haven't heard that story, folks, it is a doozy.
Was that wrong?
Very. Doesn't seem like it was right.
I always tell people that's pre-Uber, pre-cell phone, all of the things that you had to get yourself out of that situation. So really all I had was locking the door, I'm not moving.
It's called mace.
Yeah, exactly. I wish I had some pepper spray with me back then. Anywho, Gabe, you got anything like that? You got a sliding doors moment?
There were plenty of moments within the career where I could have ended up somewhere else within GKB.
But it's obviously within GKB.
I've been here since I was 16. I've spent more of my life with GKB than not in GKB.
Sure.
So, it would have been somewhere within the company. But, when I was leaving Madison, I was either going to come here or I was going to go to West Palm. And they
really?
I went to West Palm.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. I went to West Palm. They rolled out the red carpet for me. I got to play PGA National, where the PGA Tour is playing this week. Was there for a week. It was glorious.
I mean, I guess you could have been stuck in Beaver Dam. Not that there's anything wrong with Beaver Dam.
Oh, look at who learned. Somebody learned from their mistakes.
County.
I appreciate that you learned from your
there's
mistakes.
anything wrong with Beaver Dam.
Wait, I'm confused. Did you just want to cover Wisconsin sports? Was that the gig? Was that like the...
It felt like I could have made more of an impact in Milwaukee. So that's why I ended up in Milwaukee versus West Palm. Because Milwaukee was going through some changes, some transition.
Just think of like... Go ahead, Shu.
Cone didn't want you in West Palm.
Well, Evan was there at the time.
The transition.
Because they have a weird relationship.
Very
Your relationship with Edwin Korn.
Yeah, very
weird.
strange. And I love him to death.
I do think, though, that your encyclopedic knowledge of Wisconsin sports history wouldn't have served you as well
in West Palm Beach,
in South Florida. I'm just going to throw that out there. Yeah. I don't know that for a fact, but it feels like that would be true.
But the golf game, Jen, would be in real good shape. Playing
right now.
I mean, yesterday was great. Don't get me wrong. Yesterday, getting up to 50 degrees, going outside, walking the dog was fantastic. But
I had an awful time. Covered in mud. Jeez. I had to give a bath. I'm covered in the worst.
I mean, your dog is also
crazy.
Yeah.
Is the sidewalk shoveled? Are we all good there? No more fines?
It is melted.
Oh, it's melted.
We are melted.
It's mud.
Oh, okay.
It's just everywhere you go is covered in mud because all that melted.
Yeah, but 50 degrees would have been cold where I could have gone.
I do think you guys underrated the combine. I think there's pretty famous stories of guys who skyrocket and can impact a lot.
I feel like that's a thing of the past, though, Josh.
No,
I feel like
Byron
that is
Jones is a name that comes to mind. There are guys every single Chris Jones was one of them. It doesn't happen every single year, but Darius Hayward-Bay became a top 10 pick because of the 40 he ran.
And that was a terrible decision.
Right. But it does impact people's draft size.
I'm remembering DK Metcalf at the combine.
Yes.
But he fell. He had a great workout, but he fell. He was a second rounder. He didn't end up going. Everybody thought he was going to go in the first round because he had a great combine.
Dontari Poe became a first rounder from a relatively unknown place because he ran such a good 40.
Not gonna lie, he's still relatively unknown to me.
He was a all-pro level defensive tackle.
Here's what I will say, guys. I think that the opportunity to talk to guys is unmatched. I think the opportunity to pull a guy aside, have a conversation with him. I'm not talking about the weird crap that we have heard.
I was about to say, but they get these opportunities and then waste it with
some people.
Is your mom a hooker?
Some people do, and we wish that was a hypothetical.
That's a statement of fact.
We wish that was a hypothetical inquiry that one team made to a player, but alas, it is not. No, but I'm saying you ever think somebody is one way, you see them from afar, and then you actually meet them, and it is just eye-opening. There is major value. These guys talk to all the coaches. They talk to all the position coaches. They've got their hands in all the things with all the programs. And yet the opportunity to just chill with a guy for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever it may be, it makes a huge difference, especially I feel when you're a team like Green Bay, small town, different sort of vibe. Chew, you can speak to this, obviously. Mm-hmm. You got to know if a guy can handle that environment.
But how much can you actually learn in the 5-10 minutes?
How good are you at your job?
I don't think you can learn that much. People can hide for 5-10 minutes.
I think they pretend.
Yeah, but you can tell if the guy wants to be in Green Bay. So let's say you're taking a player at the University of Miami. He's from Miami. Warm. A lot going on in Miami. And you can get a vibe from him would you be okay in Green Bay? And if he goes,
no one is saying,
then you know. And there's nothing wrong with Green Bay.
32 general managers in the NFL, okay?
There's nothing wrong with Green Bay. Lived there for many years. Wouldn't want to live there anymore.
This is a weird thing that you're doing, by the way.
Just every Wisconsin city.
No.
What hasn't he taken out at this point? Southwest Wisconsin.
Yeah, just because he doesn't.
He's never been there. He's never been west of Whitewater.
I think teams think those interviews can mean more than they do, and remember Bo Nix was impressing I forget who because he had footballs in his backpack,
that's what I'm saying. That's BS.
He needed
Josh.
that. It is. The interviews, I think, are bogus. I do think Trayvon Walker becoming the first overall pick because he tested so great matters. Jordan Davis becoming a mid-first rounder as well. That stuff matters because, hey, this mass of humans, really flexible, really explosive, that's probably something that we could translate.
You are so wrong about the interviews, man. They are so important to some teams. And again, I'll use Green Bay as an example just because of the uniqueness of the environment. You have got to talk to these guys. And again, I'll tell you, maybe this is me because I interview a lot of these players. I can tell, who are good guys, who are a little, but you know what I mean? You just pick up on it. And the more that you talk to them, the more the greater number of people you talk to and encounter with, the quicker it is to start power ranking them.
But Jen, your pieces, like you sit down for like an hour, 2 hours, sometimes 3.
What are you talking about? Who has that kind of time, Gabe Neitzel?
That's what I'm saying.
My interview's an hour.
Okay, but the teams aren't sitting down with these guys for an hour. They're sitting down for 10, 15 minutes. You can mask it. Like, there are plenty of guys, like, let's take Devondre Campbell as the biggest example. I know it's not the combine, but clearly the Packers thought he was a decent enough dude. The 49ers thought he was a decent enough dude. Quit on his team halfway through the year and then did whatever he did on Twitter over the weekend in terms of going crazy. Like, you think you can know somebody, but they can mask it for 10, 15 minutes. 100%.
I'm not saying that you get every single one of them right, but I think you get I think energy doesn't lie. And I think when you can stand next to somebody and have a conversation with them, even if it is for just a few moments, the energy that person puts out can be very revealing. That's what I would say I have gleaned from my time interviewing guys, and that's why I think some teams place a premium on the opportunity to get face-to-face with these players. They recognize they've been coached up. They understand, they know, generally speaking, what we want to talk about. But the idea of just getting in front of a guy and just being able to share that space, I think is invaluable. But, we should ask some of the people who are out at the combine and some of the people who cover this stuff pretty regularly.
Yeah, but Jen, there's also an element, though, of these programs that think they can change guys. They know how do you know that Aaron Hernandez is dead?
Trouble. He's straight with trouble.
Just absolute trouble. There were stories from him in college. But Belichick was one of the, I can change them. Just get them around, get them in an environment, and you can.
Well, and not that the Giants were actually in a position to eventually take Jaden Daniels, but we all saw their interaction thanks to off-season Hard Knocks last year with Daniels, and that interaction didn't go great. Like, I don't know if the Giants would have taken him had they been sitting at 2, had they been sitting at 1, and obviously that would have been a terrible mistake.
I think based on the combine situation, it's overvalued. Obviously, interviews work. There's a reason we've been practicing the practice now for decades to hire people. I think NFL teams find a weird way of going about it and do it in a weird NFL way that doesn't necessarily translate. I think they overrate their ability to figure it out.
You know what I think, though, Joshy? I think it's a data point.
Yeah,
I think It's like anything else. It's like when you are trying to put together the bracket for March Madness, right? Mm-hmm. You got a lot of different data points. Same thing with the college football playoff. You got all these data points, and you use each data point to help you more completely come to a judgment, come to a decision either about a player or about a team. So I understand why teams still feel there is some value to it. We got a lot of stuff to get to this morning here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. We have Jason Wilde joining us in just a few moments. We'll talk to him about the Packers' role at the Combine. Brian Gutekunst speaks today. Matt Schneidman of The Athletic put out a list saying, here are some of the questions that I would ask Brian Gutekunst if I were in front of him. And man, there are some doozies on that list. So we'll go through that as Jen, Gabe, and Chewy rolls on this morning.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
A few accidents out on the road now. We've got slick conditions in certain areas, some possible black ice as well. Just basically want to be careful out there. First of all, we've got an accident 894 eastbound at 27th Street off on the left shoulder. Another one on the ramp from 175 southbound to 94 eastbound in the stadium interchange. They may have to close some lanes with that one. And then we've also got a crash on the ramp from eastbound 94 to northbound 41. That one has the 2 right lanes blocked, and that's going to start to cause some real issues in the zoo interchange. Otherwise, going to be slow anyways from Highway 16 all the way to about Calhoun, back on the brakes through the zoo interchange to about 35th Street. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Today, partly cloudy skies, a high of 47. Tonight, increasing clouds, a low of 33. Weather is brought to you by Good Health Saunas. Get your in-home infrared sauna today. Great for post-workout detoxing, skin rejuvenation, back relief, and flexibility. Visit goodhealthsaunas.com/Jen. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Man, I'm in a slump.
My energy took a nosedive out of nowhere, and I just don't have the motivation to get things done.
You're over 40. Could be lower testosterone. Have you tried Nugenix Total T?
Nugenix, the testosterone booster on TV?
That's right. Look, I felt the same plunge in my energy after I turned 40, so I tried out Nugenix to see if it would help me.
Did Nugenix make a difference for you?
Night and day. My stamina is way up now. I'm building lean muscle at the gym. I'm totally back on my game. And you could be too. Just send a text to Nugenix. They'll send you a complimentary bottle so you can try it for yourself.
Text ROCK to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. It's the #1 selling testosterone boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now and they'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, their newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text ROCK to 321-321. That's ROCK to 321-321.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
The new year is here, and we all know it's the perfect time to hit the reset button. Let's be real, guys. Feeling confident in how you look and feel isn't just for women. That's where Quintessa Aesthetic Center comes in. From now through March 31st, Quintessa is offering exclusive packages to help you start 2025 as a more confident you. Whether it's weight loss plans or even IV therapy, Quintessa has personalized options backed by medical experts to help you look and feel your absolute best. Visit myquintessa.com to learn more. Make 2025 the year you feel confident inside and out.
Ready to tackle your home improvement project this winter? Exterior Pros and Baths is here to help you score big with quality home exterior and shower upgrades. As a 5-time President's Club Award winner, Exterior Pros is not playing around. With flexible financing, it's never been easier to invest in your home without breaking the bank. Get started today and save $2,000. Visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274. That's 262-800-4274. Trust the pros and kick off your home transformation today.
This is Kevin Moret for Mentality. Men, you're being robbed of your potential. Research shows a shocking 1% annual decline in testosterone levels. That's why building muscle feels impossible and your confidence is at an all-time low. But here's the truth. You're not alone in this uphill battle. Mentality's physician-directed, FDA-approved treatment doesn't just level the playing field, it restores your body's powerful balance. Our patients experience a documented 30% increase in their testosterone levels. Stop struggling and turn this around. Defy the odds and reclaim your masculine edge at mentalityhealth.com/radio.
Ready, down, put. All Packers, all the time.
He was a field tilting player, and the reason why Gabe and many others are so concerned is that this guy's on the field, he changes the offensive dynamic. They are a different offense when he is there.
Okay, most of the time.
You know, Homer calls Matt LaFleur soft all the time. Matt LaFleur is like Vince Lombardi compared to me.
It's Jason Wilde on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Foremost this morning, we want to congratulate our friend Jason Wilde, who has accepted a new exciting opportunity for channel3000.com. Jason, I for one am just thrilled that your exceptional coverage of the Green Bay Packers will continue, even if it is in a new spot. How are you feeling about this transition?
Uh-oh.
That's great, Jason. Wow. He's just speechless.
Very humble.
He's so excited the words can't come to him.
Feeling that good about the new gig. No, I kid. We are efforting Jason Wilde. He was with us. He will hopefully be back with us in just a moment. But we will talk to Jason Wilde about...
Jason?
Hi.
Oh, good morning.
Hola.
Hi.
I don't want to talk about me. I want to talk about you guys and what a great show this is and how lucky I'm on it 3 days a week. So I just gave you the silent treatment.
Could you just for funsies pretend to be Toby Keith for a moment and I want to talk about me? Could you just for fun? So our loyal listeners would love to hear where they can read your exceptional coverage of the green and gold.
I don't know how exceptional it is, but it is definitely available on channel3000.com. That's the website for the CBS affiliate in Madison. News 3 Now, Channel 3, WIFC. We've got a lot of crossover between GKB and Morgan Murphy Media. Again, I don't have any real interest in dragging my previous writing outlet, but they did choose to stop covering the Packers altogether. They gave me the "it's not you, it's us" routine, but it's still me that was looking for a writing job after they were done talking to me. So I'm really, really happy, and in all seriousness, and I mentioned this when they asked me for a quote for the press release, which I'm usually the one gathering quotes, not giving quotes. But, I have always loved one of the lines that I hear from players who get cut by another team and the Packers pick them up. And they would always say, I'm not here to prove those guys wrong. I'm here to prove the Packers right. And that's certainly my focus here. I think we're going to do some really, really awesome stuff. And, we've got some pretty cool things planned and some other writing thoughts for me with our team that are a little farther down the road that I can't wait to get started on that either. So the biggest thing I would say is it won't cost you a cent to read my work, which if you want to come back with you get what you pay for, fine. But I think it's pretty good, and I hope you'll check it out at channel3000.com.
Nice. Well, congratulations, buddy.
Thanks, Chewy.
Yeah, Jason, is the combine now for schlumps like myself, the back end guys of the roster, to move up maybe from a projected 7th round pick moving up to a 5th or a 4th? Is that what the combine has really now become?
Yeah, look, I struggle with this stuff because I am a old traditionalist who believes that the more exposure a player gets, the better, as opposed to, like, look, I think you guys could probably tell I'm not a Deion Sanders, Shadur Sanders type of guy. It's not my jam. I have a lot more respect for people that are competitors who are like, I'm going to throw at the combine, or I'm going to run at the I'm going to do everything that I need to do. I've got an insurance policy that's protecting me because I'm smart. My agents are smart. And I want to show these teams that I am the ultimate competitor and I am not going to shy away from any sort of challenge. And I do think it's worth mentioning that a lot of these scouts are of that mentality too, right? I mean, Goody, I think, is 49 or 50, so he's kind of in that same age range as me. So my point is that I do think it still impacts how some of these teams view different players. Now, does that mean that they're going to not draft a guy, especially if you need a quarterback? No, of course not. But I do think that the more and more guys that, and I'm usually for player empowerment. I'm always for that. But in this instance, I just don't love the look and the messaging that some players send with the way they approach the scouting combine. But you're right. For those players like you who was a 6th-round pick, or Tush, who was a 7th-round pick, there is still very much value in that. And let's remember that the NFL is full of guys who were not at the point coming into the league where they could say, I'm not working out. My tape will – I saw some tweet from Ian Rappaport about – I can't remember – it might have been Sanders that said he will allow his tape to speak loudly for himself. I mean, okay, that's fine, but that doesn't sound like the kind of guy I want on my team, frankly.
So where do you rank this in terms of off-season importance for teams? Or even just for fan excitement? Because, Jason, I feel like the bigger that the NFL has made the combine, the less important I feel it's become.
Yeah, I would agree. I will say this, from a fan perspective, one of Sid's good friends, Addie, her dad, Chris, played at Kansas, not capable of going to the scouting combine, but he and his oldest son went to the combine a couple of years ago to watch. Like, when I started going to the combine, I had to, chase down assistant coaches that I knew. I remember when Brooks Bollinger was there. And Brooks obviously ended up having a very good NFL career for a guy that no one thought was going to play in the league after Wisconsin. And I remember finding Ken Zampese, who was at Cincinnati. And I said, look, we were not able to go in and watch. There were no fans in there watching. Getting the numbers, they didn't even televise it on the NFL Network at the time. And I remember Ken Zampese, I'm like, hey, I introduced myself, said I wrote for the paper in Madison, and people are really interested in how Brooks did. And he's like, he was the best thrower in his group. And that was a group that included Rex Grossman, who was a first-round pick, and some other guys that went much higher than Brooks. And so to contrast that with now where everything is on television, I mean, I think this is one of the reasons why coaches don't go. Now, some coaches still do, but a lot of them don't, including Matt LaFleur and his coaching staff. And the interviews are recorded. The video of the workouts is available, and you can actually watch it on your office TV while you're doing other stuff at Lambeau Field. So it is the way it works has definitely changed, Gabe, but I still think it's important. And my argument, and LaFleur and I have talked about this, I don't know what his guys are doing this week, like him and his assistants. I don't know what they're working on. And if they're getting this time because it's such a grind to spend time with their families and do some projects but not like be in the office, then great. I'm totally on. You guys know me. I'm totally on board with that. But if they still have a bunch of work to do and they're not taking off at all in any way, then I don't understand why you don't go to the combine. Like, you just never know what you're going to glean or pick up from a conversation. Maybe it's an assistant coach who works somewhere else that you end up bumping into at St. Elmo's, and you hit it off with the guy, and in 2 years you have a position open on your staff, and this is a guy that you say, hey, I remember talking to him, I'm going to bring him in for an interview. He ends up being a good coach for you. Or maybe you're in on an interview and you ask a question of a prospect that either makes or breaks your view of him. And so it is surprising to me that it seems to have lost its luster for a lot of people because, this game, you could say it's about X's and O's. You can say it's about execution. But to me, what the biggest part of winning in this game is securing the right players to be on your team, and the draft is the number one way you do that.
Jason, yesterday it was announced that the league will, in fact, discuss banning the Tush push. Loved how this all shook out, right? An anonymous team. Well, everyone in the great state of Wisconsin was like, I read Murphy Takes 5. I think I know who this team might be. And then sure enough, it was revealed that it was, in fact, the Green Bay Packers who proposed the conversation about banning the Tush push. Are you surprised by this?
No, not at all. Now, when I saw, I think Adam Schefter reported it first, and then it was Diana Rossini of The Athletic who had the fact that it was the Packers first. I was, when I saw it, I was like, boy, I wonder if that's the Packers. And then when Diana posted that, I said, yep, that's exactly what I thought. Because it's not just what Murphy wrote on Murphy Takes 5, which is nowhere near as good as the insight you'll get on channel3000.com. But what was interesting about it was that this is also a man who has been tasked with floating trial balloons for the commissioner before, right? Like, that's one of his, and as he goes out the door,
they're going to miss him.
He's now floated another one.
They're going to miss him, aren't they?
I don't know if is that policy going to fill that role? Like, I don't know. And so he's done this a lot, and this is, I believe, another instance of that. I did do a little poking around, and I went back on NFL Plus to find all of Tucker Kraft's tight end sneaks. And it's interesting to look at that because, I thought when I first saw this, I was like, well, that's weird because the Packers do something similar. But if you go back and look, and Tucker Kraft was 5 for 5, which is a pretty darn good percentage. But if you look, nobody pushes him until, like, he's already, like the one against Philly in the NFC wildcard game, people started pushing him, but he'd already gotten the first down and ended up turning into like an 8-yard gain. But I was doing a thing yesterday with Corey Lindsley and James Campen and Brian Bulaga for CASA, a charity here that Corey and his wife Anna had embraced while he was playing here. And Corey made a really good point. Chewy, I would ask you about this. At what point do they just decide to stop enforcing the rule that I believe is still on the books that you can't help a ball carrier if you're one of the other players on the field? That you can't push them, you can't pull them. Like that, I know that was a rule back when you were playing.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And that is the rule now. I don't know why they changed it.
I think
no
a couple of years ago, Jason,
it.
I feel like they got rid of it, and Murphy explained it in his Murphy Takes 5 of it kind of got taken off because they determined it was too tough for the officials to enforce.
Right, and what bothers me about that is that that's a cockamamie reason, right? Like, you can certainly, like, I understand. Yeah, they have the hip drop tackle. That's as hard as hell to enforce, it appears. and yet they still have it. And look, when it's obvious, it's obvious. If it's clear and obvious that you're helping a ball carrier, then if that's the reason you took it out, yeah, there are certain instances where it's hard to tell. But there are also many instances where it's blatantly obvious.
It's like the rule where you can't hit the long snapper or the short snapper. I mean, why is that so difficult? Just keep them out of that gap. Keep them out of the A gap. Say you cannot be in the A gap. It's not that flipping hard, and they make it so difficult. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean,
why was there only one team though, Jason? I would think a lot of teams would have been.
Well, there definitely were other teams, but Murphy sort of took fell on the sword.
Somebody's got to put it out there so they can take it to the competition committee and discuss and debate.
If I were to guess, Jerry Jones doesn't love that play.
Let me ask you a question, Jason. Do you think they should ban it? Obviously, one team is very, very good at it, and people feel a little certain some way about that. Do you think they should ban the tush push in the NFL?
I do, but it's not, because I hate the Eagles or anything like that. I didn't necessarily think that until that ridiculousness in
Washington
against Washington.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like once we heard a threat of we can award the Eagles a touchdown if this continues. That was when I was like, look, if I'm the Commanders, I'm doing the same thing, right? I'm trying to time it up and figure out a way to do it. Now, I feel like when the Packers played the Eagles a couple of years ago, they actually did stop it at least once.
Mm-hmm.
But that's very few and far between. And so, again, I don't like it, and I don't think it's the spirit of the rule. And as Gabe pointed out, the fact that they took it out of the rule book because it was too hard to officiate, and then a team is taking it. This. Teams, any loophole they can find, they will take advantage of. So close the damn loophole.
But, Jason, and this is something we practice so much in training camp, and 4-minute run, right? Mm-hmm. You're up by X amount. There's 4 minutes left in the game. They know we're running the ball. So we got to get, I think, 2 or 3 first downs just running the ball. Hell, you could do that all game long, and they'd get how many first downs just doing the tush push? I mean, it's like they get 5 yards a pop. I think it's stupid. I think it hurts.
Well, if you're gonna move the extra point because it was too automatic, then does the logic not also apply to this?
Absolutely.
Good stuff, Jason. We appreciate you. Look forward to chatting with you again soon.
All right, everybody, take care. Be good.
Listen to Jason Wilde on Wilde and Tush right after Jen, Gabe, and Chewy each and every day here on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, and read his stuff on channel3000.com starting, I think.
Yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday.
Ooh.
Transform the way you do business with Fifth Third Bank's commercial payment solutions. Our market expertise and managed services streamline your entire payment process, seamlessly integrating with your existing systems to give you unparalleled control. Discover new revenue sources, save time, reduce operating costs, and boost your bottom line with our customized payment solutions. Fifth Third Bank, National Association, custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN.
Eastbound 94, we've got the ramp to northbound 41 closed in the zoo interchange because of a crash. We've also got a crash at the end of the ramp from 175 southbound to eastbound 94. That one's off on the left shoulder. One more on 894 eastbound at 27th Street. Some slick conditions out there in certain areas. They're saying there may be some black ice out there, so just want to be extra careful. It's going to be kind of slower heading through those accident areas. Something to keep in mind. Traffic is brought to you by Granite Peak in Wausau. Visit skigranitepeak.com for lift tickets and lodging packages. Granite Peak, where winter lasts longer. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Today, partly cloudy skies, a high of 47. Tonight, increasing clouds, a low of 33. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Elevate your game day gear or any outfit with official merchandise from the Milwaukee Bucks Pro Shop. From authentic jerseys to exclusive apparel and accessories, the Bucks Pro Shop has everything you need to showcase your fandom wherever you go. Cheer the Deer to victory with authentic Milwaukee Bucks items. Visit us at the Bucks Pro Shop at Fiserv Forum or Bayshore Mall, or shop online at shop.bucks.com.
Hey, this is Jen Latta from Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. One of the best decisions I've made was getting my infrared sauna from Good Health Saunas. Based right in Appleton and Waukesha, they've been around for 2 decades. Good Health Saunas are easy to install, cost as little as 25 cents a day, and even include a true lifetime warranty. Plus, the health benefits aren't a bad addition either. Learn about Good Health's options at goodhealthsaunas.com/Jen, and you can get $500 to $800 off your purchase. Remember, that's goodhealthsaunas.com/Jen.
With a dedicated Milwaukee team, Fifth Third Bank knows what success looks like. For 15 years, we've been serving businesses, organizations, and individuals in the area with a long-standing commitment to the healthcare and not-for-profit sectors. Whether it's expansion to commercial payments, Fifth Third offers a full suite of financial services and solutions to navigate your organization's complex needs. Experience the difference with Fifth Third Bank. National Association. Custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC.
You can accomplish quite a lot in 6 years. You go from changing diapers to dropping your child off at school. College? You can get a bachelor's and a master's degree. And you can take up to 6 years to pay off your brand new Pella windows and doors at 0% interest. Hi, it's Gina Della from Pella. With Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, you get so much more than stunning windows and doors. You get the Pella experience. Talk about quality control. Pella manufactures, sells, installs, and services every product. A 10-year labor warranty is always included, so your windows and doors are secure for years to come. Our expert installers are available year-round and can install in as little as a day. If something ever goes wrong, Pella will handle it ASAP because you work with the same team from start to finish. Oh my gosh, why wait? Get the Pella experience and this incredible deal. 0% interest for up to 6 years on brand new Pella windows and doors. Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. Ends 3/8/25.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Just jump on it.
That's what he did.
Chewy, jump on it. Jump on it. Jump on it. Slow down.
On 94.5 ESPN.
So the NFL will discuss this offseason whether or not to ban the tush push, and we were just discussing it here during the break. Chewy, you don't like it. Why?
No. It's too automatic. It's like, Jason, that was a good analogy of the extra point. When it's a 99.6% guarantee that you're going to get it, I just don't like it. I don't like being able to assist a runner and push the runner. It's too rugby-ish for me, and I don't like it.
Is that because you couldn't do it back in your day?
I just don't think it's good for the game, for a lineman to bear hug a runner and just move them forward. I just don't think it's good. Do you guys like it?
I mean,
the Tucker Kraft thing's fine. It's fine. Because, like Jason said, rarely do people assist him until he's already.
Yeah, because the way the Packers run
down.
that, there's nobody behind him because usually Jordan Love would be in shotgun, running back next to him, and they motion Kraft in, so then he takes the sneak and goes, and if you can run up there and assist him, maybe you can get there in time.
So here's what upsets me about the whole thing, and upset is obviously relative. It's not. I'm not real mad about it, but. Most of the time when a league enforces a rule, it is for player safety. You think about the flying wedge, you think about the horse collar, you think about things like that where the league has gone, whoa, this is dangerous. Puts our guys in a bad spot. We got to ban it. That I get. There are claims that this is dangerous, but there's no evidence to back that up. There's no guys from the Eagles who are chronic neck injuries or that's not showing up right now. So to me, they're just trying to ban it because it's boring or because they think that it's not good for the game, which again, they have a responsibility to protect as well. It doesn't bother me. I don't mind it. I'm not one of these people who's like, it's not fair for one team to be so good at a play. Well, look, there have been players since the beginning of time who are leaps and bounds, head and shoulders better than some of the other players on the field. Was it unfair that Randy Moss existed? Was it, you know what I'm saying? Is it unfair that some of these guys are just better? Is it unfair that Gronk existed during the time that he did? We were talking about him yesterday and how that offense ran through him with Tom Brady. I don't like the idea of banning something just because one team is really good at it and it's boring.
But I don't think that's why the boring part is why. Because first and foremost, the NFL's not competition. First and foremost, the NFL is an entertainment product. And if your fan base is being bored by something and it's loud enough where they're going, okay, yeah, we can get rid of this and teams can figure out what to deal with it, because that's ultimately what the NFL is. It's an entertainment product, and they want to put out as entertaining of a product as possible. That way they get people to tune in. They can continue to make millions of dollars. Now, I don't think the tush push is going to bring down the NFL, but they wanted to make the extra. I think the extra point thing was perfect from Jason. They wanted to make that a little more intriguing. After a team scored a touchdown previously, you could get up from your couch and go grab another beer or go to the bathroom, whatever. And now, it's like 85% chance he makes. It's still pretty good, but I got to make sure that my kicker puts this through the uprights so we get the 7 points that we need. It's kind of the same thing with, okay, this is too automatic. It's not boring. People don't like it. Let's just get rid of it.
But I don't remember an uproar. I don't ever remember an uproar like, I can't believe you can't assist a runner that has a football and help him move forward. Do you? I don't remember an uproar. It wasn't a big deal. It was just part of the game.
We have talked on this program, too, about banning the shift in baseball. We had a lengthy conversation, animated conversation about that when Major League Baseball proposed it and eventually pushed it through, 2 seasons ago now? And I said I didn't like it then because I think you should be able to win with defense. Not every team is going to have, murderer's row in their lineup. Not every team is going to be able to win with pitching. But if you have a good defense behind your guys, hey, you put the ball in play, but you got guys where they need to be to make the play and get the out. Baseball didn't like that. Baseball was like, it's too boring. Not enough runs are being scored. Not enough offense. And then they sped up the game, and there's all sorts of other things that baseball decided to do as well. I didn't love that. I'm fine with it now. Doesn't bother me while I watch baseball. I'm not going, well, if they had shifted there, that would have been an easy out.
I wish
that's a reality.
Was on the other side.
That's a reality, but it doesn't affect my viewing enjoyment. So maybe that will exactly be how this is. To be honest with you guys, though, there is some sentiment of if you don't like it, stop it. Teams have not really consistently been able to stop the tush push.
Yeah, and again, going back to the point Jason made, the point of where this got ridiculous was the best way to try and stop the tush push is being able to jump it, right?
Which is what Washington tried to do.
Which is what they were trying to do. And then when you found out, because I don't know how many people knew, the official turned down his microphone and went, hey, knock it off, otherwise we can just give him the touchdown.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, what are we doing here? Let's just get rid of this damn thing then.
I do think there is a difference here as well. Is this is clearly a massaging of the rules and intentions of how they want football to be played and intended. The removal of that rule was not, well, hey, let's start packing everybody in and shoving them a yard forward to get first downs. The rule, they changed it because they didn't like that it was difficult to call and sometimes was being applied inconsistently. This is Belichickian in the way of it trying to find a way to massage a rule, and they're operating outside the intention of football is basically what's happening here. And I think this happens all the time in sports. You mentioned very correctly the shift and the bigger bases. You have to keep updating your rules as people figure it out and solve the game. So this portion of the game has been solved, and everyone, pretty much other than Philly, decides we don't really like this. It's not interesting. It's not entertaining. It removes an aspect of the unknown from the game and just becomes an inevitability, which I don't think is good for any sport.
But Belichick took analytics to another level, because if you remember those games against the Colts back in the day, and they're on their minus 30, and Belichick is going for it on 4th and 3, and everyone's like, what in the hell is he doing? Now it's no big deal. Dan Campbell does it all the time.
Yeah,
and I don't know if that's good for the game. You know?
I think anytime you get more 4th downs and potential pressure plays, that's good. I would say the NFL loves that teams are as aggressive as they are.
You think so?
I if they could ban punting, I think they would.
Who?
I don't think they want punts happening.
Is that something you want to throw your weight behind? Should we throw our weight behind that to ban punting? I mean, Chewy doesn't like punters and kickers to begin with.
Right.
I think Chewy can get on board with that.
What is it? Is it just like backyard football? Remember when the guy just used to throw it up? Hey, we're punting. I'm not going to punt. I'm just going to quarterback throws it up. Okay, that's a punt.
I would entertain not having punting. I'm serious.
It makes me think of that Dan Lanning play against Ohio State at the end of the game where he took advantage of a rule at the time, putting 12 men on the field intentionally to run off like 5 seconds on the clock when Ohio State needed every second it had in order to get themselves in scoring position. And then afterwards it was like, we work on every situation. We're very aware of the rule book. To your point about teams want to take advantage of any loophole they can find, what did college football do?
Removed it.
Close the loophole
Immediately.
Yeah.
Well, but I mean, Belichick did the same thing where he was like taking a delay of game, trying to punt it away.
Vrabel did too.
So he could manipulate how much time they had left. NFL closed that loophole right away. That's what this kind of also feels like. Yeah, teams kind of manipulating the rules in their favor. Close the loophole.
I want to put 2 polls on the Jen, Gabe, and Chewy Twitter poll. 1, do you think they should ban the tush push? And 2, will they ban the tush push? Because you can have different opinions on that. Mm-hmm. You can think that they should, but that they won't. You can think that they shouldn't, but that they will. I'm curious where everybody stands on that. We'll check in with that as the show rolls on. Got to take a break here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Still a lot more to get to, including why are Chewy's clothes on the internet? That's next.
Let me tell you about our friends at Ewald Automotive Group. Best used cars available right now, starting under $15,000. Choose from hundreds of hand-selected quality used vehicles, all with a 133-point inspection, all with a 3-day exchange policy, and all starting under $15,000. Best used cars starting at under $15,000. It's only at the Ewald Automotive Group. And with Ewald, they always make it easy. They've always made it easy for me. That's why I always choose Ewald Auto. You can too. It all starts at ewaldauto.com.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN.
Who's looking for a deal? Well, Cousin Subs has a better deal just for you. Cousin's new $10 meal deals are now available online only. Choose between a 7.5-inch ham and provolone, turkey breast, or veggie sub, a bag of chips or regular fry, a regular fountain beverage, and cookie at cousinsubs.com or on the mobile app for just $10. Now that's a better deal. Cousin Subs, we believe in better. Available at participating locations only. Offer subject to change without notice.
Something amazing is happening. Despite a citywide blackout, this company is still up and running. That's because CDW deployed and managed a cost-effective Eaton Trip Light Series Smart Pro UPS to safeguard equipment easily and reliably. Keep the power on and protect your IT equipment from electrical challenges. Trip Light by Eaton and CDW. Make amazing happen. Find out more at cdw.com/triplight.
Switching to Progressive is a game-winning call. And that reminds us of other game-winning calls in the history of sports.
So it was the fourth quarter and we're down by 5. Sweat pouring down my face. Suddenly it hit me. If only I could wrap part of the towel around my forehead. And that's how I became the first basketball player to wear a headband.
Okay, not really a game-winning call, but it was a good call. You can make one too. Switch to Progressive and you could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
Welcome to TGL, presented by SoFi, golf's newest league. It's sharp and it's electric. How is it sharp? How is it electric? Good questions. Try this on for size. 2 hours of hammer dropping, overtime, forcing, playoffs on the line, golf. With 24 of the best players from the PGA Tour, split into 6 teams: Atlanta, Boston, Jupiter, LA, New York, and the Bay. This isn't your average Sunday pickup game. Tune in every week for TGL matches, only on ESPN. Keep up. It's golf.
I had the worst dream last night. You were in a car crash, and the kids and I were on our own. We had to move out of the house because I couldn't afford it anymore.
That's awful, hon.
My brother was saying he got life insurance from Ethos. With Ethos, it only took 10 minutes, and he got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day. It's all online. No medical exam. He just answered a few health questions right from his house.
Ethos, here we come.
Visit getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
Sample rate is a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy, non-smoking male. Billed monthly.
Kevin Moret here for Mentality. Listen up, gentlemen. You're fighting an unfair battle. Studies show testosterone levels in men have plummeted by 25% in just 2 decades. That's why you're struggling with energy, muscle, and drive. But here's a game changer. Mentality's FDA-approved treatments boost testosterone by 30% on average. Imagine reclaiming the vitality your grandfathers had. Picture turning heads, dominating your career, and feeling unstoppable again. Don't settle for today's normal. Seize the day at mentalityhealth.com/radio. That's mentalityhealth.com/radio.
Introducing the newest carbless flavor, Mango Vodka. Flavored with the essence of the ripest, freshest mangoes, carbless mango vodka will transport your taste buds to a sunny beach getaway. New flavor, still the same carbless crafted cocktails with 0 carbs, 0 sugars, and only 100 calories. Enjoy a refreshing vodka cocktail without the guilt. 4 packs of the new carbless mango vodka cocktail are available in stores near you. Find your bliss today at drinkcarbless.com and escape with every sip.
Love is in the air at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. This February, play to your heart's content in the Love It or Leave It $300,000 game show. Thursday night, you could love your prize or leave it for another. For a chance to cuddle up to thousands in cash and prizes, just play using your rewards card. Get ready to love it or leave it. Only at Potawatomi. Learn more at paysbig.com. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
You're listening to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
But remember he said his birthday?
Yeah.
Maybe we get a little freaky.
Yeah. Like and everyone's like, oh, look at our horny little boy. Good for him. Like, everybody's so supportive of Giannis, they just kind of look past it.
On 94.5 ESPN.
We are absolutely pumped to watch college basketball's best players shine on the court while they chase the ultimate trophy. It's tournament time, and where will you be watching the magic happen? The only answer is Potawatomi Sportsbook, where you can place your bets on all the high-flying action. Massive video wall, sports betting kiosks, drink specials, and more. It's a basketball fan's paradise. Bet above the rest, only at Potawatomi Sportsbook. Chewy.
Yep.
Why are your pants on the internet?
That is a good question. I have no idea.
Chewy's pants are, in fact, on the internet. Gabe, what did you get sent the other day?
So, a fan had reached out to me via Facebook because on Facebook Marketplace, you could buy Mark Chmura game-used Packers Super Bowl 31 pants. So apparently the pants that Chewy wore in Super Bowl 31 that the Packers were victorious.
Let me read to you, Chew, what it says here for the description. Mark Chmura importantly scored the final points of the game in Super Bowl 31 in these pants. He scored the crucial 2-point conversion to put us up by 2 touchdowns, making it 35-21, right after Desmond Howard's run back for a touchdown that turned the tide of the game and brought the Packers a Super Bowl victory. To own a game-used item from such a crucial moment of the Packers Super Bowl is a very rare opportunity.
I don't know if I would trust it. Do you think the Packers are in the business of selling used?
Well, it wasn't the Packers who were selling it, but I mean, they do.
Well, then how would they get it? I never had them.
They do a big tent sale, and every once in a while they've got some game used jerseys that once a year they do this big pro shop tent sale up there at Green Bay. So I don't know if these were available back in the day and somebody purchased them.
Why wouldn't you get your game worn uniform from the Super Bowl? That was the very first question I had when you told us that you never had them.
Because we had to pay for it.
That's crazy town.
Well, you still have to.
We had to pay for it. That's why if you threw a ball in the stands, you had to pay for it.
But your Super Bowl? That it surprises me that the uniform you wear in the Super Bowl wouldn't just be gifted to you. Thanks for bringing us a Super Bowl victory. Here's your uniform that you wore.
That's what the ring is for, isn't it?
Nope. I had to buy my jersey because I have the Super Bowl 32 jersey. I don't know what happened to 31. I could tell you if they're the pants or not. I mean, just from identifiable marks.
Wait, what?
What kind of
skids?
Yeah, what kind of identifiable marks?
Well,
are we
that's
talking?
one.
I've only got the front of the pants in the picture here, Chew, and maybe that was strategic by the seller.
You have the picture? Send the picture to me.
I mean, it's just.
Well, we did send it in the group text.
Because there was a little scuff mark on my right. What is it called here? You pull it sometimes. Not
quad.
That. Come on,
hamstring.
Hammy.
No, keep going.
Calf.
Kind of groinish.
Why are we leg bone connected
groin.
to the hip bone over here?
Yeah.
So side, there's a little scuff mark.
It's almost like they sewed it or something like that. It's like right where your hip socket is.
Well, that might be higher up than we can see on this picture. Maybe not.
Yeah.
I don't really see anything.
Well, I kind of see like an again, it's tough because it's not like a high-res picture, but I mean, there's a little imperfection kind of where the green stripe is.
How did the person who sold these get these? You think that the team sold them and they picked them up at the tent sale you mentioned?
That's the only thing that makes sense to me.
Chew, do you have any idea how much they were selling for?
No idea.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, because I put it into our text chain like, hey, Chewy's Super Bowl pants are for sale. And Jen goes, buy it.
And you said,
I don't just buy things that have commas on a whim.
So there you go, Chew. There's a comma. Do you want to try to guess how much your game-worn pants are going for on Facebook Marketplace?
$1,200.
That's pretty dang close.
$1,250, yes.
Yeah, okay.
And just full disclosure, there is a letter of authenticity. Certificate of authenticity signed by yours, Red Batty.
I forget. Oh, Red? Oh, well, maybe they are.
Yeah, so when they sell this stuff, there's authentications just to prove that they are actually your specific pants because they could be anybody's, and based on the player, the value would be different.
Yeah. No offense, but I think Brett's pants would go for more.
Right.
Yeah, a little bit more.
And I think the 7th offensive lineman goes for a lot less.
Yeah, well, it's the same with the rings, you know.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
like if you were to sell your
rings
Super Bowl
have a
ring.
different value to them than, you know.
We have breaking news.
Gabe, can we purchase the Mark Chmura game-worn, Super Bowl-worn pants on Facebook Marketplace?
We cannot. I don't know if the seller took them down. I don't know if they've been sold, but I tried to follow the link right before the segment, and the link no longer existed.
Is there any chance that your wife bought those pants too?
No way in.
Just to keep anyone else from having them.
I am not a memorabilia guy. I don't have a lot. I don't care. My kids don't want them.
But she famously confiscated all of the topless photographs because she didn't want those out there in the world.
Well, she owes me beads because she did flash me at New Orleans after the game, and she has not paid up yet.
I feel like she has.
Wait a minute. Hold on. I got to give her the beads.
I was about to say, you owe her.
All right, cancel that.
That's how that
Josh.
works.
Dumped it.
Dumped it. Thank you. Oh, I thought she owed me the beads.
She doesn't flash you and give you the beads.
She flashed you at the game?
No, not at the game.
Unbelievable. We roll on right after this.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Well, we've got this issue in the zoo interchange. Eastbound to northbound in the zoo is closed because of a crash. Slippery conditions all over the place with some black ice possibly around the area. So you want to be careful. Things are going to be slow, though, coming in from the county line all the way through to 27th. Westbound's backed up out of the Marquette all the way to 35th. And then again from Highway 100 into Waukesha County all the way to about Calhoun. Southbound 43 backing up from Silver Spring all the way down past Burleigh towards Fond du Lac Avenue. Then we've got more problems. A crash on 94 southbound just south of the Mitchell interchange off on the right shoulder. Traffic is brought to you by the Neal Group. They know how to minimize your taxes to keep more money in your pocket. Visit nealgroup.net to learn more. That's nealgroup.net. And checking the TMJ4 storm team forecast today, partly cloudy skies, a high of 47. Tonight, increasing clouds, a low of 33. Weather's brought to you by Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center in Waukesha. Join their two-man scramble tournament and play TPC Scottsdale for a chance to win cash through the 28th. Sign up at wisconsinindorgolfcenter.com. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman, here to tell you about my friends at Bank 5-9. Everywhere I go throughout the area, I see Bank 5-9, and it's no wonder why. Not only do they have 14 branch locations, but their employees spend nearly 9,000 hours each year volunteering in the communities that they serve. That's on top of the financial support that they provide to several hundred nonprofits right here in southeastern Wisconsin. If you're looking for a true local community bank, check them out today at bank59.com. Member FDIC.
As clutch of a player to ever play basketball.
It's game time on season 4 of Behind the Bucks on Bucks Plus.
This year I was like, I need to impose myself more on this team.
Explore Damian Lillard's journey to becoming a top 75 player in NBA history.
That's what really had me feeling like this is going to be great.
Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker, and H&R Benefits Consultant. Find Bucks Plus on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and wherever you get podcasts.
Gabe Neitzel here. Catch Jen, Gabe, and Chewy mornings 7 to 9 on 94.5 ESPN, WKTI, and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station. Showtime. The right way to start your day. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
So I'm like, all right, the call. All right, I'm like, because I'm, afraid of my wife. And I just tried to spin it, which I sold half of it.
I'm here to tell you that we are closing this Scranton branch.
I don't understand.
The board voted last night to close your branch.
On whose authority?
I sold it with anger.
I want to hear the spin
I'm like,
job.
you kidding me? Wage sucks. You sent me to the wrong place, went downtown, couldn't find it. Oh, and I smashed my windshield.
Are you okay?
Yeah, great. Amazing. Best physical condition of my life.
What did Jan want?
Nothing. Just checking in.
Wait, you tried to bury it? You tried to bury it?
Well, what would you do? Yeah, I can't come right. I'm like, if I came right out with it, I wouldn't have been able to talk anymore. So I had to. She knew I was, quite upset.
I can't tell you.
What can't you tell me?
Nothing. Pam, will be gone in a few weeks anyway.
What?
What?
Michael, what's going on?
Listen up, everybody. I have some news. All I can do right now is put on a brave face and go out there and be their leader. It's over.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamara. Here's Jen Latta.
Running her mouth, she wants to ride it, she's trying to hide it. I'm cool as ever, she's too excited. Her man look like he wanna fight, he ain't doing nothing but running his mouth. Talk about it, we all about it.
We talked a little bit this morning about the NFL Combine, which is going on this week. Matt Schneidman over at The Athletic put together a really good, really strong list of questions that he has, or generally speaking, fans should have for Brian Gutekunst. Entering his 8th season as Green Bay's GM, Gutekunst might not be as sought after by reporters in recent years when the buzz surrounded quarterbacks Aaron Rodgers and Jordan Love was at a fever pitch, but there are still plenty of important topics to discuss ahead of the 2025 league year. So I just want to run down, give me a little bit of NFL music, Joshy. I just want to run down some of these questions that Matt Schneidman has compiled. And Chewy, you tell me how you think Gutekunst should answer this question or will answer this question, all right?
Yep.
Do you agree with Josh Jacobs' comments that you need a proven number one wide receiver?
No, he won't answer that. He will say something to the effect of, well, I like the guys we have in the room. We expect a little more from them this past year, but, they're still young and we expect them to grow, so I feel very comfortable where we're at.
Yeah, he'll dance around it. If he said, yeah, I think we need to be aggressive, and that would be the shocking thing. If he just absolutely agreed with what Josh Jacobs said, that would be the shocking thing. It's a question that needs to get asked that I doubt that he's going to provide any sort of answer to.
Second question, is Jair Alexander going to be on this team next season? Chew, how do you see him answering that?
Well, it's a very fluid situation. We haven't made any decisions. We think the world of Jair. We know he's battled some injuries over the last few years, and we're just going to wait and see how things pan out.
I think he's going to give an answer. He won't just say yes or no to it, but I think if that question gets asked, if Matt's able to ask that, or if anybody else is able to ask that, we will have a really good feeling of whether or not Jair Alexander is going to be a Green Bay Packer in 2025. I think he's going to hint strongly one way or the other.
I think he'll say something along the lines of, Jair Alexander has been tremendous for this team, and when he's 100%, he can still be a difference maker in this league, and you'd love to have guys like that out there for your team. So we'll just see as the offseason goes on how it shakes out, but we want to have a Jair Alexander on our team. Something like that, right? Like where he says...
we want guys like Jair.
If he says we want Jair Alexander on the team, then Jair ain't going anywhere because you've got Jair Alexander on the team. You don't have to look for Jair when he's already there.
Famously, he did want and plan to bring back Aaron Jones.
Yeah, but that was also like you undercut him on the contract. Like Jair's pretty locked in. Like if you go to Jair and ask him to take a pay cut, then Jair's gone.
Yeah, he's gone.
Yeah, but he could still. As we tried to work out a contract and it wasn't right.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I don't know how much he doesn't have a ton of guaranteed money left. Like the only way you go to a player like that is to extend him and give him more.
Uh-huh.
Third question on Matt Schneidman's list: have you discussed trading for a veteran edge rusher? Chew, how will he answer that?
Well, we're always looking to improve the roster. There's guys out there we obviously like, but we're kind of a draft and develop type of team. But if there is someone that fits, like McKinney last year was wonderful, and Josh Jacobs, if there's a player like that and it works for us, then we'll go out and do it.
That's pretty good. I think Chewy nailed it. I think Chewy just absolutely nailed that. Just knocked it out of the park. I've got no notes. Nothing to add.
Schneidman does say in his recap that there's no way Gutekunst fully believes what he said in January about already having the right players in his pass rush group. The fourth question he has is, how will you keep Walker around for the long term, assuming his fifth-year option is too expensive? Chew?
Well, there's ways of doing things to keep the person around, because if you remember back to Jordan Love, he didn't get the option, but we did some things that the player was happy about, and we were happy as an organization. So the fifth-year option isn't the only avenue that we have.
Gabe?
He has just really plugged into Brian Gutekunst's brain. he's just plugged in right now. It's unbelievable. Because yes, that is if they want to keep him around, clearly they're not going to give him the fifth-year option. I wonder if they just let him play it out, though. Like I understand there's still a lot to be excited about there, but I think they just let him play it out. All right, let's see if he continues to improve. And if he doesn't, you've got other guys you feel good about, and you can just let him walk.
So Schneidman doesn't. Go ahead, Chew.
The only reason I'm good at doing this is because I'm fluent in BS.
So Schneidman does say, he does have a quote here from Brian Gutekunst on Quay Walker recently. Can I read this to you guys?
Sure.
Yep.
Quay continued to make a leap, and he is another guy who has struggled through injuries at the end of the year, but he was really impactful for us. He continues to be a great leader for us. Certainly think we would love to have him around here for longer than just a couple of years. He's that kind of guy. Which, again, you can hear the kind of dancing around, the compliments, but not really committing one way or another to what the intentions are. All right, next question. How is Watson's recovery going?
We feel very good about it. We've looked at a few players around the league who, had this same type of injury late in the year, and they battled back the following season, maybe not at the beginning, but we have full confidence in our training staff to get him ready at some point in the season next year.
This is the closest thing you'll get to an answer from Gutekunst today, because he can just openly talk about, somebody in the recovery that's on the roster. I think he's going to give a good answer. Yeah, we're planning on him being available at some point late in the season, still early in the recovery process, so we'll continue to know more as we get closer to training camp and OTAs and that sort of thing.
Will there be a little bit of gush, though, a little Christian Watson gush? Will it be like, look, he's a difference maker out there. We know that we're a better team when he's on the field, and so we want to get him back out on the field as quickly as possible. Something along those lines. Can you hear that from a Goody?
I think he'll also say how hard of a worker he is, because everything we hear about him is he's like a great teammate. He's a great, hardworking kid, and they're going to say that. I'm more interested in how do you replace that? Because he's obviously going to miss some of the season. How do you replace his unique skill set?
FU? I'm sorry.
Excuse me?
FU stands for follow-up in interview lingo.
I thought you didn't like the answer.
He's asking questions. Just thought he gave a good, insightful answer here. The questions you were asking, Jennifer.
And then I just gave you an FU. No, FU stands for follow-up, so that would be the follow-up to the question. When I'm writing my interview questions, when I go into an interview, you have an FU after a question, depending on how it's answered. So that, I'm sorry, yes, I should have explained that.
I think you could probably figure out a better thing there, maybe a symbol of sorts.
It literally stands for follow up.
Yeah, it's just bad vibes and FU. I don't want to be reading FUs. I don't want them sent to me, that's for sure, after you tried it out there.
That was good.
Next question from Matt Schneidman this morning on The Athletic, as we are just hours away from Brian Gutekunst addressing the media. Number 6 says, are Dobbs' multiple concussions a long-term concern?
Well, obviously it's a concern. You know, we have great medical staff who will take care of him. We're evaluating it, but, you know, we sat down and talked to Romeo at the end of the year, and we felt good about where we're at, and we expect a big year from him next year.
Yeah, he's going to dance around this question as well, because based on the concussions and the productivity and the incident that he had earlier this season, I can't imagine that Romeo Dobbs is a Green Bay Packer in 2026, unless he has a monster year. So I don't know how much Dobbs factors into Gutekunst's plans past 2025.
Next question, have any teams called about trading for Malik Willis, Chew?
We don't really want to discuss that, and we keep that in-house. We really don't want to talk about it. We're very happy with Malik. You know, obviously everyone knows he won 2 games for us. You know, it was an outstanding trade on my part. He's
not going to say that. No, you went off. No, doing so well.
So well. And then he just
tried.
Had to try to sneak that one in there.
I tried.
Yeah, he's going to dance around it. I can't imagine the Packers would seriously consider many offers for Malik Willis, because this is the backup quarterback you want.
Isn't he pretty inexpensive?
Yeah, he's still on his rookie deal, so he's inexpensive to the Packers. Plus, how often have we talked on this show about a backup quarterback? Well, if Jordan Love's out 4 games, can you go 2-2? Because that's all you're really asking for your backup quarterback. In the games where he played significant time, the Packers went 3-1. Like, sign me up for more of that. I can't. Like, the Packers would probably part with him for an incredibly high draft pick that's outrageous for another team to pay. So I can't imagine that they would seriously consider any offers for Malik.
I don't see any way he answers yes or no to that.
No.
And just goes, we're not going to get into any specifics on trade requests or trade talks with other teams.
So yeah, that's I think that's.
All right, the final question that Matt Schneidman has here on his list on The Athletic, and again, this is another good one because we have talked about how does a front office show more urgency. Chew, if you're Brian Gutekunst and you are asked, how does your front office show more urgency, what would you say?
Well, I think we have shown urgency. We just have a plan. You know, that plan's being implemented right now. And, you know, I feel for the fans. I know they want a Super Bowl, and we feel that we, you know, are in a position to win one. We just have to stay healthy and put it together. And, you know, we're going to stick to the plan, which we think is a good plan.
So that, to me, seems like that should be the follow-up to, do you think the front office needs to show urgency? Because that's been a debate as well, where we've talked about with Jason and throughout this offseason so far of, does Brian Gutekunst think that the urgency is on him in the front office, or is the sense of urgency more on the players and the coaching staff? So I think where I would probably start there is, do you believe that the front office needs to show urgency, and then how do you show that urgency if the answer is yes?
Okay, so from a question-asking standpoint, I think you're right. You have to establish first and foremost if he believes that call for urgency extends to him and his decision-making group, or if it is just about coaches and players taking advantage of the opportunities in front of them. I think it would be hard for him to sell that the urgency doesn't extend to him and his
correct partners. The urgency has to be everywhere. So once you get him there, then you have to ask him, how do you show that urgency as a front office?
I like it. I think these are really good questions. I hope that many of them get asked today when Brian Gutekunst addresses the media, and I would not be surprised if many of the responses are eerily similar to what our very own Mark Chmura spit out over the last 15
We may
minutes.
have to save those and just like compare and contrast
Absolutely.
once we get the audio from Goody.
And then like on a social post, one next to the other, and then ding. Or
we'll have to edit out the part where he toots his own horn. As
because
Brian
we all
Gutekunst.
know that's not going to happen.
That was a tremendous trade.
That was a tremendous trade by me.
I don't know if you know this or not, but I'm a big deal.
I single-handedly made that happen. All right, we got to get to power rankings too. You have power rankings? Yes.
I does.
Oh boy.
Hey, what the hell's that all about?
I'm terrified. When you're left to your own devices, I am terrified.
He's about to throw me under the bus because I helped.
All right.
He did help.
That makes me feel a little better, actually. Chewy, if you have a supervisor, that makes me feel a little bit better.
Just in general.
Joshy, you're his chaperone, essentially.
Hey, you know what, guys? Hey, you know what? F you.
He's just asking for
follow up. Yeah.
I'm glad that I could provide that to y'all.
Yes.
I'm glad I could share that nugget with you, share that wealth. Time to talk about the best purchase that I have made recently, guys, and it is my Good Health Sauna from Good Health Saunas. Always been a fan of health and wellness. You know this about me. I like to work out, and I like to keep my body in tip-top shape, and that's what the Good Health Sauna does for me. Had it right installed in my basement, easy to use, very accessible. Maintenance is pretty much nothing. And it has a true lifetime warranty. It's a local company, and you know I love that as well, supporting the local community. They are based in Appleton and Waukesha. You can check out all the different infrared saunas that Good Health Saunas offers by visiting their website, goodhealthsaunas.com/Jen. There you can find a discount code if you or someone you know is in the market for and wants to experience the Good Health Sauna life for themselves. Go to goodhealthsaunas.com/Jen.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN.
Still dealing with an accident that's got a ramp closed. Eastbound 94 to northbound 41 in the Zoo interchange closed right now because of a crash. Delays coming in from the county line to that point. Then beyond that, from the Zoo all the way to 35th Street, going to be pretty much solid. Southbound 43 backing up from Silver Spring all the way down almost to North Avenue. We've got northbound 4394 backing up out of the Mitchell interchange around the Plainfield curve up to Oklahoma Avenue. And then an accident on 94 southbound just south of the Mitchell interchange off on the right shoulder. Traffic is brought to you by Fisco Auto Body. Call Fisco Auto Body to help with all body repair needs. Fisco. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, partly cloudy skies, a high of 47. Tonight, increasing clouds, a low of 33. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Lowe's knows that your business is built on speed and trust. That's why the Lowe's Pro Desk is here to get you what you need the moment you need it. We'll help you plan your project, calculate your materials, and pivot when your job takes an unexpected turn. And with our pro-only checkout and dedicated pro parking, you have what you need to tackle your job and be back on the job in no time. Just visit us at the Pro Desk. Lowe's knows pros. We help. You save.
Robinhood Gold members can now enjoy the VIP treatment, receiving a 3% IRA match on annual retirement contributions. With Robinhood Gold, the perks of the high net worth are now available for any net worth. The new gold standard is here with Robinhood Gold. To receive a 3% boost on annual IRA contributions, sign up at Robinhood.com/gold. Investing involves risk. 3% match requires Robinhood Gold $5 a month for 1 year from first match. Must keep funds in IRA for 5 years. Go to Robinhood.com/boost. Robinhood Financial LLC member SIPC. Gold membership is offered by Robinhood Gold LLC.
Whoa, it's you, the Capital One Bank guy.
That's what they call me.
Mind if I get a selfie?
Yeah, sure thing. Say no fees or minimums on your Capital One checking account.
Wow, that's a keeper. So, where are you heading?
I'm off to spread the good news that Capital One helps people keep more money in their wallet with no overdraft fees.
Oh, you're the best Capital One Bank guy.
Hey, mind if I get a selfie?
Sure.
Say, Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
Progressive knows sports brings people together, but you gotta feel bad for people who don't even get it. Some people will never know what it's like to see their favorite team's hopes decided by a ping pong ball to draft the next superstar. Or not. I mean, sure, it's silly for your happiness to hinge on the success of a 20-year-old entry-level employee, but you just can't help yourself. The stress is exhilarating. Progressive can't bring people together like the draft, but we can bring your home and auto insurance together with a bundle. So switch and see if you could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers not available in all states or situations.
Bucks fans, join us for our 414 All Nights, a celebration of our diverse fan base where we showcase fan stories and highlight their unique and impactful contributions to our community. Come for the amazing Bucks basketball action. Stay for the recognition of our amazing fan base at our 414 All Nights, where diversity is embraced and every fan is celebrated. Go to bucks.com/impact for dates and details.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Hey, everyone who I let try borscht likes it. They don't love it, but it's a liver.
What an endorsement.
This is your
but hold on.
Hey, yeah, guys, good luck. I don't even have to talk anymore.
On 94.5 ESPN.
All right, Mark Chimura, what do we got?
It's a great list. Thank you very much.
You say that every time.
All right, so this is what we're going with here. We're just trying to. I think I'm going to give you 20 guesses to get 8. Is that too many, Josh?
Yeah, I think we're going to do
8?
10 guesses to get 8.
Oh,
I like 20.
I'll give you 12 to get 8.
Okay,
12 to get 8.
Apparently, it's a negotiation.
Yeah, am I on Pawn Stars or what right now?
And yet the two people who made the list, Jen, are negotiating for us. We have no say.
This part wasn't negotiated beforehand. We were negotiating a lot of things, and this was a fresh one.
Play the open, Joshy.
It's Chewy's favorite segment of the week.
Hey, big guy, you catch the game?
It's Power Rankings time on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Did you catch the game last night?
Can I say yes to you?
What will the big guy have in store for us today?
See the game last night?
Which game?
Any of them.
Okay, so I had to tweak this because the topic is the best streaming series of all time. But I had to kick out, you know how the Oscars, it's in French, they won the Oscar. I got rid of the dumb ones. You guys have probably seen every single one of these, okay? Pardon?
So at very least you have heard of all these.
Yes.
Well,
so
that I think is a little hinty hint, isn't it?
You have 12 guesses to get 8 of them. Okay? Are we clear on what's going on?
Yep. We're looking for the best streaming shows of all time, right?
Correct.
Okay, so Game of Thrones is on this list, even though Gabe has never seen Game of Thrones.
Well, but Game of Thrones isn't strictly streaming. It's on HBO.
Hey, stop being technical, all right, French boy?
Well, then if it's on HBO,
Jen,
it's not a streaming
Game of Thrones is number 2. We'll get rid of Gabe's disdain for Game of Thrones.
Well, so then, if it's on HBO, like, how is it?
That's a streaming service in my house.
I don't know where streaming came from in this thing.
It says right here.
Okay, well, now, I'm just confused because, like anything can be streaming, but it's also, like, on TV. Like, that's on a channel at a specific time.
Josh.
Think of things that are typically on the apps.
He's wrecking my list.
He is.
Wait, you're going to get weed whacked in a minute.
Well, no, so I didn't realize HBO was going to qualify on here, but I mean, I would say like the biggest thing I would think is Stranger Things.
Stranger Things is number 7.
Okay.
Okay, that was a good guess.
Yeah, because I'm thinking like Netflix. I'm thinking
Breaking Bad. Or is that too old?
Breaking Bad is number 1.
Ah!
It's not a streaming series.
I had no idea it was going to be number 1 on the list.
All right, so this is the best series of all time then?
I went for drama. I told them to search for best dramas.
The best TV/streaming series of all time.
Oh, TV slash. The slash.
That's a very important slash that was omitted. Okay.
Yeah.
You guys are, you know what?
Okay. I think we're on board. I think we're on board now.
I mean, Breaking Bad's AMC.
Yes, correct. Aired before streaming services really existed.
That's why I asked if it was too old, you know?
Yeah, and then obviously made its way onto Netflix. So, trying to think of other big Netflix series that have hit. Breaking Bad is there.
There's a big one staring you right in the face.
There's about 4 big ones.
I mean, if Breaking Bad's on there, is Mad Men on there? Because that was always huge right around the same time.
Is that a guess?
Yeah.
Wait, no, it's not on there.
Mad Men?
I thought you said it was.
Nope, no Mad Men.
Oh.
You have 8 guesses left, and you have 3 down.
How about The Sopranos? Is The Sopranos on there? Thank you.
Sopranos is number 3.
Yeah. Okay.
So The Wire.
The Wire is not on the list.
Holy moly.
But he also removed some, so I don't know.
I don't think he removed The Wire, but he could have.
You guys talked about this show all the time while it was on. There's a couple of them.
Okay, well, we're working our way through it. Is House of Cards on the list?
Ooh, that'd be
House of Cards is number 6.
Oh, we've got to be crushing this list at this point. We've got 1, 2, 3, right?
1, 2, 3, 6, and 7.
Yeah.
Is what we have.
But you got 2 wrong guesses.
How many were we allowed?
4.
12.
4.
12.
4 wrong.
12 guesses, 4 wrong guesses.
We're trying to get 8 in 12 guesses.
Okay.
We talked about this. What about what's the one everybody watches now? Yellowstone? Yellowstone on there?
Not on the list.
Dang it.
There's one I can give a hint on that's more of a limited series than it is. Actually, 2 that are more limited series than actual, multi-season things.
What about, so we did Breaking Bad. Is Better Call Saul on the list?
Better Call Saul is number 4.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Can you just reset the list for us, please?
All right. 1 Breaking Bad, 2 Game of Thrones, 3 Sopranos, 4 Better Call Saul, 6 House of Cards, 7 Stranger Things. You guys talked about one of them while it was on, weekly.
Oh, Ted Lasso?
Ted Lasso is number 10.
Good one, Gabe. Way to redeem yourself.
Now, 2 of these are tough. One of them you should have already got. But 2...
We just need to get one more, Jen. That's all we have to do.
Okay.
Yeah, you just need one more.
One more, and we have
There's
one
one right in your
left.
face. Mm-hmm. It's right in your face.
So let me ask you a question.
Face.
Would Seinfeld be on this list, or is that
Could
too
be.
old?
No.
I mean,
that's not
if Breaking
streaming.
Bad and Better Call Saul are...
There's no network. No network.
What? Okay.
Well,
we established that's not true.
NBC, CBS, ABC.
None of the legacy.
Yeah.
Well, plus these seem to be dramas, not sitcoms.
Is there a cutoff time, a deadline for the shows? I never watched The Wire. That feels like an old show, but I know a lot of people did watch The Wire.
I already guessed The Wire.
It was not on the
Yeah,
list.
he already guessed it. Yeah. This series was so good. It was must-watch TV.
We already did Game of Thrones. That was must-watch TV. Was there anything else that was must-watch?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the older HBO shows of the golden era.
The Office?
Josh,
no, because that's a sitcom.
Okay.
9.
Oh, we're only doing dramas.
Mm-hmm.
Succession?
9?
Succession could be on there.
Not on there.
These are not real guesses, Chew.
The one, sorry. The one you should get, I think it's a Netflix series.
Yes.
It is a Netflix series. There's an HBO, a
2
Netflix.
HBOs.
So 2 HBOs and a Netflix?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man, and I was crushing HBO.
You guys
Sex and the
should know
City
that
would be on it,
Netflix-
but only women watch Sex and the City.
No, the
so that's
layup
why
is
it's not.
Netflix. The layup is Netflix.
Oh, my goodness. You're crushing me right now. Joshy, we need more clues.
You guys got away from the limited series thing, which I think is
I don't know what that
informative.
means.
Typically, it is one season of 6 to 8 episodes.
That
Sometimes
everyone watched?
True Detective?
No, because that's more than one.
Dang it! That seemed like a good guess, though. What about Curb? Would Curb be one?
That's a sitcom.
Sitcom.
Dang
Keep
it!
going to comedies.
West Wing?
One of them has to do
That's
with
NBC. Said no.
a world-changing disaster.
Oppenheimer. There was one
The
about
Last of Us?
No.
What was
The
the one
Blammer.
about?
A real disaster.
The one about the bomb?
Gabe, the Blammer.
Blammer?
That's your hint. The Blammer.
He talks about Mickey Mouse drinks. I don't think it's a Mickey Mouse show that we're talking about.
Josh, was that a good clue?
Yeah, it is. It is fair.
The Blammer.
Natural disaster that Blammer's associated with. Well, not natural, actually.
I have no idea.
Chernobyl.
Yeah, there it is.
Chernobyl corn.
And yes, that show everybody watched.
Yeah.
I watched 1.5 episodes and was like,
all right.
I'm out.
5 is great series. Military.
Oh my gosh, I'm so...
Band of Brothers?
Yeah.
Band of Brothers.
That's
Justin Bateman.
Ozark.
How did you guys miss Ozark?
I'm so mad about missing.
Jason Bateman.
Isn't that what he said?
He said Justin.
It's his brother.
You had a really tough time listening the entire segment.
You know what? Like Goody said earlier in the show, fantastic
so what did
list.
You remove?
Hall of Fame, so good.
What did you remove from the list?
Stupid ones. Never even heard of them. This is what I removed. The Handyman's Tale.
Oh, my God.
The Handmaiden's Tale.
Wow. The irony. The great irony of you removing the Handmaid's Tale.
And then calling it the Handyman's Tale.
Oh, my God.
The Morning Show. Horrible.
Apple TV Plus. Yeah, that's
Again,
good.
Black Mirror.
Black
also
Mirror's
good.
really good.
Jeez,
Terrible.
who let you be in charge of this?
Now the Queen's Gambit. Maybe I've heard of it.
Amazing. Do you notice that you eliminated the chick ones? You eliminated the Handmaid's Tale. You eliminated the morning show, the Handyman.
I think you've been watching it wrong, Jen. If you watch it from the handyman's perspective, it completely is a different series.
That is actually tolerable.
The Walking Dead. Come on, what are we doing here?
I mean, that was the biggest thing for like a decade.
Yeah, that was. I mean,
%.
the biggest shows in AMC are Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
And,
I mean, I ain't gonna say anything. This list was Carmiable. Carmiable Awards.
That you could win a Carmi for it? Jeez.
Yeah.
For worst segment ever.
Self-praise stink PU.
So good. Don't let him bring you down, Josh.
I cannot believe you eliminated all of the chick shows.
He also insinuated that they were all foreign and they're all just clearly American.
Yeah.
And the one Chernobyl, which is foreign and has people in Russia doing English accents.
Which, by the way, you could have eliminated because, like you said, it was a limited series as opposed to like a full-fledged show. No, that one you kept.
No, because you liked that one.
Because of your buddy.
I'm watching The Handyman's Tale tonight.
Oh, yeah. I would love to hear your review of that one, too. All right, we'll take a break. We'll take a break on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. What a disaster.
Dear Lord, a weekly pulse on the Milwaukee Bucks, straight from a fan favorite and Bucks legend. Tune into Here District with Marcus Johnson, Bucks Plus audio production. Marcus and his son Chris, who is a 1995 UCLA champs hoop himself, talk about everything happening in the Bucks world and are joined by some of the biggest names in basketball. Plus, they'll answer some of your questions too. Stay on Beat of the Bucks. And find Here District now, bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN.
We are still dealing with a lot of accidents out there, specifically the one on 94 eastbound to northbound 41 in the Zoo Interchange. That ramp is closed because of a crash. We've also got one on 894 eastbound just as you're getting in from the Hale Interchange off on the left shoulder. Another one southbound 94 south of the Mitchell Interchange off on the right shoulder. Now, generally delays across the area, southbound on 43 from Silver Spring all the way down to about Locust. Northbound 4394 also slowing down right around the Plainfield curve all the way up to Oklahoma Avenue. Give yourself tons of time today throughout the area. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, partly cloudy, a high of 47 tonight, increasing clouds, a low 33. Weather is brought to you by Fifth Third Bank, custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Welcome to TGL presented by SoFi, golf's newest league. It's sharp and it's electric. How is it sharp? How is it electric? Good questions. Try this on for size. 2 hours of hammer dropping, overtime, forcing, playoffs on the line, golf. With 24 of the best players from the PGA Tour. Split into 6 teams. Atlanta, Boston, Jupiter, LA, New York, and the Bay. This isn't your average Sunday pickup game. Tune in every week for TGL matches, only on ESPN. Keep up. It's golf.
When you're in the thick of a project, Harbor Freight is the place that always comes in handy. Whether you're picking up something for your pickup truck or a power tool for your project, at Harbor Freight, your dollar always goes further. And these days, when everything seems to cost more, you can take pride in knowing that you get hard-working tools at hard-working prices. Whatever you do, do it for less at Harbor Freight.
This ESPN Radio Black History Month moment is brought to you by National University.
Jackie Robinson began his career with the Brooklyn Dodgers on April 15, 1947. He was the first African-American player in Major League Baseball, winner of the first Rookie of the Year award. He was named MVP 2 years later. He was elected into the Hall of Fame in 1962. In April of 1997, his number was retired permanently throughout Major League Baseball.
Built for the dreamers and doers and history makers. Start your journey at nu.edu.
Want a golf course quality lawn? It's easier and more affordable than you think with True Green. As the official lawn care treatment provider of the PGA Tour, True Green brings pro-level expertise straight to your yard, so your lawn can look like a fairway. Sign up by March 10th and get one free application. Plus, you'll get True Green's price match guarantee. If you're not satisfied, True Green will revisit your lawn between scheduled visits to make it right. Visit TrueGreen.com today to get a free application. Offer ends March 10th. Restrictions apply.
How would you like to own a jewelry store? Kessler's Diamonds is an employee-owned company.
And Kessler's is growing. Are you the kind of person we're looking for?
Does it make you happy to make other people happy? Are you a problem solver?
Would you like to wake up every morning knowing that you're going to help a lot of people find joy today?
Kessler's Diamonds is people serving people. Keep in mind that Kessler's is owned by its employees. So let me ask you this. Are you a good enough leader that you can be an owner who leads other owners?
Don't worry, you don't have to know about diamonds. We can teach you about diamonds. But the people we're looking for aren't looking for a job.
Did someone pop into your head just now? Do you think you might know who we're looking for?
Give that person a call.
Send them an email. Tell them to walk into Kessler's Diamonds and say to the person who greets them,
I think I want to work here.
Welcome to Kessler's. A fantastic place to buy jewelry and a wonderful place to work.
For the store nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
So overrated.
Come on, his head is a pumpkin.
Yeah, he's so right. Chewy's never been more right about anything.
Chewy was right. Yeah. Holy, Chewy was right.
Yeah.
Imagine the helmet on that dome. It'd be the first 8.5 size. What the?
On 94.5 ESPN.
Reaction flying in to Chewy's great adventure.
Selective list.
Dumpy in West Bend says, I saw the handyman's tale. Tim Allen was great. Ay. Michael in the 815 says, I'm surprised Chewy doesn't like Black Mirror as it deals with the horrors of technological advances that is one step away from today's reality. Did you know that's what Black Mirror was about, Chew?
No. You know what? After watching Severance, have you guys both watched that?
Yeah, I am all the way caught up.
Are you caught up too, Chew?
I'm on, I think, 4.
So no.
Well, I can't watch tonight. Angie's out of town, but that's weird.
Yeah.
Weird. I like weird. It is weird. Mm-hmm. Weird.
It's very weird.
Good, though.
I think it gets weirder as the show goes on.
Yeah.
I mean, you understand things a little bit more, but it's still weird.
Okay. Could it happen?
I mean, I doubt it.
Wait, would you be into it? Let me ask you a question. Would you be into it? Would you be into severing your basically brain so that when you're at work, you only address work things, and when you're at home, you only address home things, and there's no bleed over, there's no crossover?
Would I be into that?
Think less about radio and more about football.
I think I would. But you know what? Sundays were so whatever. You know, whenever we played a game was awesome. The rest sucked. The stress, the yelling, the thinking, all that stuff that goes along with it.
But you wouldn't know about any of that stuff when you were at home. You would know that your body hurt, right?
Yes.
Because you've obviously played an NFL football game.
You would separate the stressfulness of it. So, yeah, I'd probably be into
But wouldn't you want to have the memories of, scoring that 2-point conversion in the Super Bowl?
Not Monday through Saturday. They can have that stuff.
Well, yeah, but I mean, Sunday's part of the job, man.
Yeah, I know. That's
you'd have
the
to be severed.
trade-off,
Game.
Gabe.
Yeah, you would have to be you'd be severed for the game.
Well, and just think about this, Chew. Now you're sitting at home on your couch on, I don't know, Monday. Let's just throw that out there.
Yeah.
And your body is killing you, right? Like your shoulders hurt, your arms hurt, your legs hurt.
Yeah.
And you don't have the explanation as to why it hurts or the memory or the rush and the adrenaline. You know what I mean? You don't have any of that stuff to
I would just
justify it in your brain.
I would just think it was Angie. That's it. I'd be like, wow, I must have snored last night because I can't feel my bicep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that would be explainable.
Gabe, what about you? Would you want to sever?
Absolutely not. Not for me.
I don't want to distract us from our little TV conversation here, but Brian Gutekunst just said that Mark Murphy has granted him the ability to trade the first-round pick, and Gutekunst wants more than the 7 picks he has, so it's safe to say he's not trading for an edge rusher. He said depends on who the edge rusher would be.
Whoa, Brian Gutekunst is already taken to the podium, huh?
Apparently, yes. It was scheduled for 9 a.m. Eastern.
Now, to me...
10 a.m. Eastern, sorry.
To me, that is so weird that Murphy has to give him the okay to do it. That is just... I don't think that's a good system. I'm sorry. That's micromanaging too much. You agree?
Did he say it in jest? Maybe he said it because he knows the narrative that's out there that, like, Mark Murphy wants that first-round pick. Again, it is just a narrative. It's not like Mark Murphy has ever said, Green Bay is hosting the NFL draft, therefore we must make a pick in the first round. It's just people thinking that this is his swan song. He wants that moment on stage of Green Bay making the pick in Green Bay before he rides off into the sunset. Could he have been saying it in jest? Could it have been like, oh, he's allowing me to. He's going to let me do it. Is it possible?
Yeah, but I guess it's possible. I don't think it is, Jen. But what would be the equivalent to LaFleur? Hey, I don't want you kicking that field goal. If we drive down, don't be kicking the... I mean, what are we doing here? Gabe, you seem perplexed.
Well, but I mean, this specific instance is different to me. Like, do I think that Mark Murphy was... in previous drafts, like, oh, I got to get the okay from Mark if I want to make this trade. I don't think so. Like, this draft specifically is different because it's in Green Bay.
Yeah, it's extraordinary circumstances.
Yeah, like I think it's extraordinary circumstances
best for the organization.
So I think Goody probably just went, hey, look, Mark, I know this thing's your baby. I know you want us to have a first-round pick. I just want to make sure you're cool if I end up trading that first-round pick, if I have an opportunity to do so and really improve the football
Isn't it extra informative that the conversation was even had? Have you ever debated the Packers trading a first-round pick? I haven't.
Yeah.
Well, we did, though. Well, but we did when we were talking about if you're going to use it on an edge rusher, if you're going to use that pick to trade for an edge rusher who is a known commodity.
Correct. What I'm saying is, for the fact of them having that conversation, I imagine that conversation never happens at Green Bay.
Are we never going to trade the first round pick?
Are we? Can I trade the first round pick if something arises? I just don't imagine that's something they speak about.
But, and Jen, you could probably speak better to this. This isn't a very good draft. Everything I've seen is this draft is meh. So we talk about it, and I think, I don't know who it was, Ted or Ron or whatever, said there's 15 guys maybe that are special in a draft, and then everyone's kind of the same after that. So I kind of get what he's saying with this being a so-so draft, there isn't a difference. What do they have, the 23rd pick?
Yes.
Is there a difference between the 23rd pick maybe that you don't need in the 33rd pick? I still don't think it should be coming from Mark Murphy.
But I don't think it's coming from Murphy. If I had to guess, Chew, I think Goody went to Murphy and went, hey, if this situation comes up, are you cool with this?
Okay, I just want to be clear about something before we continue this, and I know we're running out of time. Matt Schneidman posted this on social media. The second portion is a question. So it says, Brian Gutekunst says Mark Murphy told him he can trade the first-round pick despite the draft being in Green Bay, period. Okay, everybody clear on that part, right? Gutekunst wants more than the 7 picks he has. So, safe to say he's not trading a first for an edge rusher, ? And his response to that is, depends who that edge rusher would be, which has prompted reaction on social media to be, oh boy, he might be going out and getting an edge rusher with that first pick.
I interpreted it more of a trade back than a trade forward.
I mean, I look at that as Goody might be willing to depart with a first. I don't know if he'd be willing to depart with multiple firsts that would take in the instance that anybody would actually become available, because that's still the biggest part of this whole equation is Garrett or Crosby actually becoming available for a trade. That's the big. Once that happened, like all this conversation about potentially trading for one of those two is nice, and it's nice that they're prepared and they've had some of those conversations. It's all irrelevant unless one of the guys actually becomes available, which as of right now they are not.
I'm just saying the reaction has been now as you watch people react to this post by Matt Schneidman on X. Oh wow, this could be a reality. Oh wow, Brian Gutekunst might actually pull the trigger and make this happen. Yeah. That's how people are interpreting the information that was pushed out there.
Yeah, I interpreted it the other way. Because he's done it before, right? He's done it. He's traded out of the first round to go get people farther down the line.
That's not what he's saying, though. He's asked specifically about trading for one of those edge rushers. Like, he is saying that the conversations are happening of a first-round pick being used to go get an edge rusher. That's the way it's intended to be read.
Well, then if that's the case, we'll know next week. Gabe, is it next week? Because those bonuses are due to...
So it'd be after the league year starts. So March 12th is the day the league year starts. Bonuses would be due the following Friday or Saturday if it's the second or third day of the league year.
Okay, so we'd know well before the draft if
this yes, correct.
Okay.
Correct.
All right. We'll see.
But a lot of those bonuses are due, yes, in a couple of weeks here.
As we mentioned, Brian Gutekunst was scheduled to speak to the media in about 10 minutes. It sounds like he has already started with the local media.
Yep.
And then we'll step to the main podium in about 10 minutes. And, of course, we will react to all of that tomorrow on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Got to take a break here on the show, wrap things up right after this. I know the new year is a time when a lot of people want to hit the reset button, whether it's fitness, wellness, or taking care of yourself. Let's be honest, fellas. Feeling confident in how you look and feel isn't just for the ladies. This is where Quintessa Aesthetic Center comes in. From now through March 31st, Quintessa is offering special packages to help you start this year as the most confident version of yourself. Maybe it's wellness, maybe it's weight loss plans, Botox, skincare, or even IV therapy. And if you're thinking to yourself, I would never do those things, this is crazy talk. I'm telling you, man, check out Quintessa.com. It's myquintessa.com. And just take a look around and see some of the things they have, some of the services that they offer. You might be surprised at how well they would work for you. They've got personalized options backed by medical expertise to help you look and feel your best. And this can be the year you feel the most confident inside and out by going to myquintessa.com.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Drum roll, please.
Carbless is here with refreshing new flavors. Introducing their Tropical Bliss Variety Pack. Let the summertime flavors of blood orange, watermelon, raspberry, and grapefruit whisk you away from the winter blues. New flavors, same great carbless perks. Every handcrafted cocktail still has 0 sugar, 0 carbs, and just 100 calories. Find the Tropical Bliss Variety Pack in store wherever Carbless is sold and enjoy your winter passport to paradise. Grab a pack today and discover why Bliss is more with Carbless.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Kyle Walsh for Universal Windows Direct, and they have the Love Your Windows sale going on now. Buy 2 windows, get 2 free, and there's no limit. It's the perfect way to save big. Schedule your free in-home estimate today.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
Stay up to date on the Green and Gold all off season. The Green and Gold Fix podcast is brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Luxury stay, elite play, unwind in sophisticated comfort. Win big, dine, and experience the events in Milwaukee.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman, here to tell you about my friends at Bank 5-9. Everywhere I go throughout the area, I see Bank 5-9, and it's no wonder why. Not only do they have 14 branch locations, but their employees spend nearly 9,000 hours each year volunteering in the communities that they serve. That's on top of the financial support that they provide to several hundred nonprofits right here in southeastern Wisconsin. If you're looking for a true local community bank, check them out today at bank59.com. Member FDIC.
Fisco is always there for your auto body care. When accidents happen, Fisco Auto Body on Forest Home in Franklin is there when you need them. Got a broken mirror? They'll take care of it. Dented bumper? Scratch paint? Fisco Auto Body will take care of it. If there's any damage you need fixed, Fisco has you covered. Their expert workmanship is guaranteed for the life of your vehicle. So stop in for all of your auto bumps and dings. Once again, you know the line. That's Fisco.
My son loves to fly kites, but my active psoriatic arthritis can sometimes hold me back. Now with Skyrizi to treat my skin and joints, I'm ready to go. Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults, helps with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. For those who also have plaque psoriasis, 90% clearer skin is possible with just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
With Skyrizi, there's nothing like clearer skin and better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi today and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZI to learn more.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
He sounds like the Beatles.
What?
Anyone?
This is a new one on me.
Listen
Even
to
I
his
don't
interview,
know.
the way he talks. He sounds like Paul McCartney. Ringo farted and it was horrible. It's absolutely horrible.
On 94.5 ESPN.
More details coming out of the Combine as Brian Gutekunst is speaking with the local media, local being the Wisconsin media. Aaron Nagler, who called into the show yesterday to applaud Gabe for his take on the wide receiver situation, says, Gutekunst said this when asked about Josh Jacobs' Super Bowl comments. I talked to Josh before and after that about our football team, things that are in the media I don't pay too much attention to unless it's something that's detrimental to our football team, which that was not. So, Chew, he did talk to him about it, but it doesn't sound like there was any sort of reprimand as far as talking out of turn or anything when Josh Jacobs was saying that basically the Packers need more pieces. They need more guys.
Well, I'm specifically saying we need a number one receiver. I mean, that was the specific thing that could have irked, and obviously did irk some of his teammates online because of some of the reactions that Jaden Reed, Dontavian Wicks had.
What
to
did you
that
make of
specific
it?
comment.
Chew, what do you make of that reaction that Brian Gutekunst said about the Josh Jacobs thing?
That's fine. I wouldn't. I mean, I rarely talk to Ron in all my years of playing. I think that's kind of weird. That's kind of a coach's thing. But back to the first round draft pick. Didn't he say in there, though, that he's not comfortable with his amount of picks and he wants more?
Yeah. He would like to have more.
It doesn't make sense, then, that he's trading for one of those special D linemen, because then he would be losing picks.
Well, you'd lose one pick, theoretically.
Oh, you'd lose more than that.
Well, you'd lose one pick this year.
And then you could maybe, again, he'll trade back in the draft.
He's
to
always
get more
trading
picks.
back and getting more picks. Like, you could do that throughout the remaining rounds. It's not just your first-round pick.
You know what? I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah, I mean, that's the easy way to answer this because, of course, we don't have a history of trading first-round picks. But
yeah,
there's information being gleaned here from even the consideration of a first-round pick being available. Because Gabe correctly thought, is this even a realistic thing? Would Mark Murphy consider it? And they said they would.
Consider not having a first-round pick?
Yeah.
Because he's going to move back and pick up 2 picks in the second round. That's how I don't know.
But he was asked about trading the first round pick.
I know. Hey, we'll talk about it tomorrow. Right now, I'm going to enjoy the list I put together because it was outstanding.
That's enough. I turned him off.
I was going to say, yeah, because that's what the general consensus was.
Self-praise stink PUs. Apparently something that doesn't apply on Tuesday.
Wilde and Tush is next on ESPN Milwaukee. Have a great day, everybody.
We are still dealing with a lot of accidents out there, specifically the one on 94.